Alright, what is good, ladies and gentlemen, is the Mass Ranker back again with another ranking, and today we are doing a ranking for all of the Cars/Planes characters. Yeah, it's, the usual, we got rank the movies, doing the characters now as usual, and so yeah. Honestly, a lot of the characters kind of blend in just with the fact that they're all cars or planes, so yeah, I might not remember all the names. I might look up the names of specific important characters, but in general, I might not look up the name of every single character because just most of them I probably won't end up caring about too much, but yeah. Anyway, let us just begin. This is one of the firefighter trucks that we're helping out in Planes Fire and Rescue. There was this one, and this one, and I don't really care for any of them, so I'm just going to put them all now in D/F tier. Next up, we have Blade Chopper, I think that was his name. I don't remember specifically. Let me see here. Planes, Blade, was it Blade Ranger? Blade Ranger. I would give him probably, I'd give him C tier. He was fine, like the one that was kind of teaching Dusty. I guess I like the scene. The training montages were my favorite part of Planes Fire and Rescue, and he was part of those, so I guess good in that sense, but just C tier I would give him. This is Bulldog. He was the British racer in the first Planes movie. I don't really care for him. This is Cal Weathers. He is the son of Carl Weathers? Who was, I can't remember his name now. Cars Weathers. Carl Weathers was an actor, so who was this guy's name? Strip Weathers, yeah, Strip Weathers, and then he has a son, let's see here, yeah, Cal Weathers. I would give Cal probably, I'd give him like C tier. I think it was like, we'll go C for Cal, like nice of, I guess, to see the next generation of Dynaco's racers. Specifically, it's like cool to see the protege of Strip Weathers, I guess, being his son, so that was cool, I guess. We'll do Sizal at the end, but yeah. Anyway, Chick Hicks, I would give him C tier. He was a fine antagonist, but he is just like the whole purpose of his character is just to kind of be a jerk to Lightning McQueen in the third film as well as like in the first film as well. He cheats. No one really likes him. His whole character is just meant to be a jerk. So he's entertaining at a few moments, but we're just gonna go C tier. Chug, I don't really like him too much. He was in Planes. His character was a bit annoying, I would say. There was like one good scene with him where he was delivering the news of them not having found the proper gearbox. Like at first they thought that they had the right gearbox that Dusty needed, but then they realized that they had the wrong, like it was mislabeled. And so the one good scene with him is when he's delivering the news, and because it's like a callback to earlier when he was going to deliver him good news, and he was like getting all excited about him, and he told the other guy to give him the news because he was too excited to tell him. But then in the moment where he's delivering the bad news, it's like he gets all serious and he actually like says like he'll tell him the news. And so I thought that for some reason I like that, but the character himself I don't really care for, so like just a D tier I would say. This dude, he was one of the owners of the hotel. I don't care for him. We're just gonna go D tier. He was one of the staff members of the hotel in Planes Fire and Rescue. I didn't include all the characters in the franchise. Like I included the ones I remember, and anyone that I didn't include probably just assume I would give them D/F tier. I don't know why I include this guy because he's just very not that memorable. This dude is the villain of Cars Fire and Rescue. His name is Cad. I would give him I'd give him A tier, honestly. I thought he was a good villain. He was one of the most, let me think here. Yeah, I liked him better than the first villain, Rip Slinger from the first film, and I don't know if he was better than Jackson Storm. He was better than Chick Hicks, I'll say. And the second film, he was better than Axel. So he was actually probably one of my favorite villains of the franchise, I would say. So yeah, we'll go A tier. He was entertaining, I would say. And yeah, Doc Hudson. I would give Doc, we'll go B tier. Just this character that like is doesn't want Lightning McQueen in Radiator Springs, and then we learn about his backstory and stuff, and then he ends up becoming the mentor of Lightning McQueen, and then he just becomes this really important character in the entire franchise. Yeah, I would just give him like B tier. I thought that he was good, I would say. Yeah, solid mentor character for Lightning McQueen, and just overall solid car in the universe, I would say. Cruz Ramirez, I would give her also probably B tier. She was fine. She was like the protege, is that the word? Like protege, is that the right word? I feel like there might be another word to use instead. Let me see here. Protege, meaning, I probably severely misspelled that. Protege, an individual who receives guidance, support, and career advancement, a more experienced, influential, and powerful person known as a mentor or patron. Maybe is there another word for it? Let me see here. Protege synonyms. Let's see if maybe there's another word that it's here. I asked for synonyms. Synonyms, come on. This is not giving me what I'm looking for. Show more. Okay, this isn't helpful. Whatever, fine, we'll use the word protege. I would say that she was a fine protege. Just she was an alright character. I did like the scene where she like revealed how she never wanted to be a trainer. Her dream was to be a racer. So that aspect of her was good. A lot of the earlier stuff is just like her training Lightning McQueen, but not kind of like making in a really inefficient way. Like even if you want to start out slowly, it's like this is a professional racer. So like the fact that she's like, okay, we're going to start you off on 5 miles an hour. It's like, seriously, this is the training method you're going with. So yeah, I would just B tier. She was fine, I would say. Dusty Crophopper, I would give him probably, I'd go like, I'd say B tier. I would say that he was a good protagonist. I would say I don't know if I liked him better than Lightning McQueen, but he was good. I would say one of the better characters from the Planes franchise. And yeah, just in the first film, he wants to classic underdog story, I guess, and he was a good character for that. He was nothing really. I don't know. He was fine. He was a good protagonist, I guess. There's not really much for me to say about him. In the second film, he's like damaged, so he might have to give up racing, and so he goes to become a firefighter. I would just give him B tier. I would say he was an alright protagonist. This is, I don't remember. This is Dusty. I think this guy is Dusty or Rusty, and the other guy is Rusty. So I think Rusty would be somewhere down here. I don't know where Dusty or one of them is called Dusty. The other one's called Rusty. I don't know where the other one is. I don't really care for either of them. I'm just going to give them D tier. They were fine. I do appreciate the sacrifice where it's like they did end up selling, I think, their business in order to be able to purchase a, like, I forgot what it was, but Dusty and Rusty, they like gave up their business in order to have the money to be able to give Lightning. I'm not exactly sure how this works. I'm kind of interested now. What did Dusty and Rusty do for Lightning in Cars 3? Apologize for my crappy spelling, but it's late and I don't really care, so let's hear. Here we go. Sell their company to a wealthy businessman named Sterling so Lightning McQueen can access high-tech. Okay, so they sold their company to Sterling so that, okay, I guess then they purchased the wealthy, okay, so I guess they sold it to Sterling and then they were the ones that purchased the technology which Sterling then used to train them. I'm not exactly sure the dynamic of this business deal, but sponsors say they sold the Rusty's brand and racing facilities to Sterling, a high-tech businessman who promised to give Lightning the resources he needed. Okay, so they just, I guess, gave up ownership of Lightning McQueen to Sterling, I guess. All right. Anyway, yeah, I would say that was a fine sacrifice, but I would just give them a D slate if you don't really care for them. Dottie, I would give her probably, we'll go D for Dottie. I don't really care for her. She was just another background character in Planes. She was the mechanic of Dusty, I guess, and yeah, fine character. Don't really care for her too much. I don't remember who this is at all, to be honest. I think this was one of the firefighters from Fire and Rescue. Don't remember at all. This is La Chupacabra, and his whole thing was that he was just in love with Rochelle, and yeah, I don't really care for him too much. We're just gonna go D/up tier. He was the first friend, I guess, that Dusty made in the competition, so that was cool, I guess. This is Fillmore. I think he is actually voiced by, first of all, his name is Fillmore, right? Fillmore Cars. He's voiced by George Carlin, I'm pretty sure. Let's see here. Yeah, George Carlin. So, and then, yeah, George Carlin sadly died, and then he got recasted, but yeah, so that was cool I didn't know that until I was collecting the images for this video, so that is cool to see. I give him, we'll go B tier, I thought his character was, he had his moments. Honestly, I'm being a bit generous. I like George Carlin a lot, but we'll go C for Carlin, but Carlin, one of my favorite comedians of all time. I would definitely give Fillmore, the character himself, yeah, he's not too memorable. He has like a few good lines here and there. I'd just give him like C tier, I guess. This is Finn McMissile from Cars 2. I'd go A tier. I would say that he was great. I liked how he was like very much a spy character, like never worried about the situation he's in. Like he definitely encapsulated the spy personality very well, and he was very entertaining to watch. Him giving commands to either Holly or Mater or whatever, and just him like always being like him not getting upset ever, and just him always being like calm about the situation through, and I thought it was great. So A tier. This is Flo. She's just another person from Radiator Springs. I don't care for her too much, so D/up tier. This is, I forgot his name, but Bernoulli, I'm pretty sure. I'd go A tier. I thought he was very fun. Just this rival for Lightning McQueen to have in the second film. It was fun, the back and forth between him and Lightning McQueen. I thought he didn't feel like a jerk. Like he was kind of like a jerk character, but it wasn't like it felt more like charming compared to, I guess, like Chick Hicks, I would say. So yeah, I'd give him A tier. This is okay. The one of them were named Luigi. The other one was named something else. I was trying to think it was say Mario, but no. Cars, Luigi, and Guido. Okay, so this is Guido. He speaks in Italian. I do like that, so I'm going to give him C tier just for his Italian they speaks. But besides that, I don't really care for him too much. This is Marv. I don't know why I include him really, but this was Lightning McQueen's manager in the first film, and he just, I don't know. I think the purpose of him was to just show that Lightning doesn't really have any real friends. So yeah, just don't really care for him. D / F tier. This is the camper. This camper, and then there was another camper here. These two campers. I guess a fine couple, but I just very forgettable. Like the whole thing with them was that they just were meant to create a bit more tension in Fire and Escape, where it's like after the firefighters they were rescuing everyone, there was still these two camper vans that were in the forest, like trying to find the spot that they had their honeymoon in years ago. And so it just was the purpose of it. They were just kind of like plot devices to create a bit more tension in Fire and Rescue. So I don't really care for them. This is Holly Shiftwell, I'm pretty sure, and yeah, I would give her probably. I go A tier. I thought that she was great. Yeah, just another similar to Finn McMissile. I just loved all the spy stuff side of the second film, and so I thought that she was a great part of it. Yeah, her dynamic with either Finn or with Mater, it was fun. The misunderstandings was also very entertaining with her. And yeah, just overall, just another great character from the second film. And yeah, next up we have, this is Inashi, I think her name was. Am I getting that right? Plains Ishani, maybe? Yeah, Ishani. I would give her, I don't really care for her. Her whole thing was that like she was kind of nice to Dusty at the beginning, and then Dusty finds out that she is actually on the same team as Rip, and so she gave him bad advice so that he would like, I think, crash or not. It wasn't like she didn't intend for him to crash, but then he could have crashed in the process. She basically told him like, hey, there's a shortcut if you go low. It's like you can go through these train tracks, but then a train actually came. So she thought that he would just like turn back and maybe like lose time or something like that. So yeah, I would probably say, I don't know, she was just that, and I think maybe she was meant to be a love interest for Dusty. She doesn't show up in the second film, so nothing really happened with that. I would just give her D / F tier. This is Jackson Storm. I would give him probably, I'd go A tier. I would say that he was a very entertaining character, I would say, in the, like a good antagonist for the third film. Definitely like this very, I like the fact that his character, it's like, he's like kind of a jerk, but he does it in such a like sly hand kind of a way that basically he'll give someone a very backhanded compliment. He'll tell the media like, oh, I look up to Lightning McQueen, he's my hero. It's like I always watch the races and stuff. But then he'll say like, it was great beating you, Lightning McQueen. Something like he'll constantly be like giving people praise, but in a way that's like very mean kind of. So it's like very backhanded, his character, which I think that was pretty good, because it's something that you don't see. I don't know. It felt like he was a bit more indirect with his kind of his jerk nature, kind of, where it's like in other characters like Rip Slinger, he kind of like, it got to a point where it's like at first maybe he was a bit like kind of deceitful about his compliments and stuff, but then eventually towards the end it did get to a point where it's like he was pretty direct about it, where even towards the end with Jackson Storm, it's like when he's insulting Cruz Ramirez, I think he's still kind of doing it in a way where it's like he never sees I don't know, to me, like he never seems like he is very I don't know, he's like very mean about like the stuff that he says, but he says it in such a way that I find it like very, very good for an antagonist, I would say. So definitely I'm giving him A tier. This is Leadbottom, I think his name is. The only thing I remember about this character is that he's voiced by Cedric the Entertainer, who voices Maurice in the Madagascar film. So cool, I guess. Good voice actor. The character himself, he's just Dusty worked with him like they were crop dusters, and he was the boss of Dusty, I guess. So anyway, Lightning McQueen, the protagonist of the Cars films, I would give him probably, I'd go B tier. He was fine. I don't really care for him too much. He was a fine protagonist. Yeah, I don't know, I really just don't have much to say about him. In the first film, he is just kind of upset about being in Radiator Springs, and then he learns a lesson of like, oh, it's fine, like take life slowly, it's not always about the destination and stuff. In the second film, he is just upset with Mater, and in the third film, he is upset with Cruz, and then he realizes, like, his character is basically like gets upset at whatever situations he's in, and then realizes that like, oh no, actually he was the one in the wrong, basically. So Maybe his character is just a bit too repetitive for me, maybe, but I don't know. I think Owen Wilson does a good job voicing the character, but the character himself is not really one of my favorites. I did like his like very cocky nature at the beginning of the first film. I thought that was pretty good, and yeah, I did like the character growth also, where he chooses to lose the race in order to help out Strip Weathers. I thought that was pretty good, and so overall he was a fine character, but like a high B tier. We'll give him during side style, but still I would just give him like B tier. I would say this is Dipper. She was she had a crush on Dusty in the second Plane film, and she was just like trying to get close to him the entire time, and so I don't really care for her too much. I'm just getting into slash up here. A lot of the fire and rescue side characters just weren't really my favorites, to be honest. So anyway, next is, I forgot her name, but she was one of the residents of Radiator Springs. Don't care for her too much. Yeah, I think she sold bumper stickers. This is Luigi. Luigi, I would give him probably... I thought that he was a bit better than Guido because he actually had like more lines where Guido would just talk in Italian, and so for that, like, just Luigi's a bit more memorable because he has more lines, so I'm going to give him a B tier, I would say. This is Mac, I think his name was. He was the truck that drove Lightning McQueen wherever it was that Lightning had to go. Voiced by the dude that voices like I'm noticing that this dude actually voices like the voice actor for this guy. Who, let's hear. Who, oh, I didn't, mistake on my part, sorry about that. Who voices Mac in Cars? Yeah, John Ratzenberger. He voices like like a lot of Pixar characters. I think, does he actually voice someone in like every single Pixar film? Let me see here. There's an image here. Okay, it's lagging a bit, but let's hear. Yeah, he voices like a lot of characters. Okay, it's not pressing, but here you see like Incredibles here. Okay, now loads. Here, from Toy Story, Monsters Inc., apparently someone from Coco, The Good Dinosaur, I think Inside Out, I was gonna say Inside Job, Inside Out, WALL-E. Like this dude actually, like, I think does he have a cameo in every single film? I'm not sure. I guess I'll look it up later. I don't really feel like looking it up now. Anyway, I would say that this character of him, I like the voice actor. The actual character himself is not really the most interesting. So he just ends up, he loses Lightning because Lightning tells him, like, no, we're driving through the night to get to California first, and so he ends up losing Lightning, and he's just a truck that drives Lightning to where he needs to go, and yep, it fails to do so, but it's not really his fault. I don't really care for his character too much. This dude, I think his name was Maru. I would give him probably, I'd go A tier. I thought he was very good in Planes. Fire and Rescue is actually probably one of my favorite characters from the Planes franchise, I would say. Yeah, he was this. I like the voice actor. This dude, he kind of like acts. He talks in like this very crazy, like very aggressive, not aggressive really, but like very crazy. I would describe it like a very crazy way. I like the voice actor. I think he did a great job. The character himself also feels like very, I don't know, bombastic. Maybe that's the word I want to use. But yeah, very like, I don't know, very energetic kind of tone his character has. So I do like his character. A tier, I would say. And yeah, Mater, I would give Mater probably, I'd go B tier. He was fine, not really. Even in the second film, like, I do think he was good, but he definitely gets. I did like some of the other characters, like Jet, McMissile, and Holly. I like them better than Mater. Mater, it's like he's good, but he is just kind of like the idiot character, and so I think he is good in the second film, where it's like he does have like this arc of like feeling underappreciated by everyone. So I did think that was pretty good, but overall, the first film didn't really care for him too much. Third film also don't really care for him too much, but in the second film he was good. And overall, he's just like a B-tier character, I would say. Next is Mayday. This was the fire truck that was in the second Planes film. I would give him probably, I don't really care for him, to be honest. He just was, he ran the fire department, I guess, and he reminisced a bit about his glory days. And he was just someone that Dusty wanted to help, and so it gave Dusty motivation to go become a firefighter, I guess. And so, yeah, don't really care for him too much. This is, I don't know who this is. I don't remember who this is. I don't remember who is this. I think this is actually Miles Axelrod. Actually, he was the villain of the second Cars film. Was that his name? Let's hear Cars. I'm pressing the button. Why is it not? Here we go. Cars 2, Miles Axelrod. Let's hear. Okay, so that's him. Villain, twist villain. I don't really. His plan was a bit weird. It was like he found oil, so he made this fake renewable energy source, so that way people would not want the renewable energy source, even though renewable energy wasn't being promoted yet. Like they said, it was gonna start soon being promoted, but him to speed along that process seems like kind of weird. and then ultimately, I guess it was like getting ahead before the I don't know the term, but getting ahead of it before like it becomes like an issue and stuff, to like frame it as being this bad thing, so that way he could profit off of the oil. But I still think that he would have still probably profited off of the oil even if they like renewable energy started becoming a big thing. So I don't really like him as a villain too much. I would, yeah, I'm just gonna give him like D tier. I would say this is I forgot her name, the monster truck school bus from the third film. Don't care for her really. Just she was in that one derby scene. I don't really like the derby scene too much, to be honest. Give her a D up here. This is one of this plane and the other one. These two were just like the henchmen of Rip Slinger in the Planes film, and they were, yeah, just basic henchmen. Not really not anything interesting, I would say. So, this is Blade Ranger's partner, Nicky, I think his name was. He's just in like some flashbacks. I think some like old TV footage. Apparently, like he died, which then he died in like a accident, which motivated Blade to become a firefighter to help save others. And so, yeah, I don't really care for him too much because he's not really a prominent character. This is the Forest Ranger, I think, from the Planes Fire and Rescue film, and he is also just another fire and rescue character that is just not too important, I would say. Is the villain, one of the villains of Cars 2. He was like the main face of the villains, I guess, since Miles was not revealed until the end of the film. I would give this one like C tier, fine, a bit kind of memorable because it's like a German scientist car, which I guess is kind of unique amongst all these other cars. So anyway, I just remember that this car is voiced by Patrick Warburton, and he's got a very recognizable voice. Voices Flynn from the Skylanders games, voices, who else? Ken, I think, from the B movie, I think that was his name, voices Kronk from Kronk's New Groove. Like, it's a voice that you've definitely heard before, and he does a great job with it. Like, his voice is just great, and so, yeah, in voicing this character, I would give him probably B tier. Not a very prominent character, but it's fun when he shows up, and we just get to hear Patrick Warburton, I would say. This is the Ramon, I think. Yeah, he was just part of Radiator Springs. He's the one that did the paint jobs on certain cars. D-slash up here, not very memorable. This is the fire truck. This is the least memorable character from Radiator Springs, and they don't even give him like a shout out or anything in the Planes Fire and Rescue film, which you would think that they would maybe do since he's a fire truck from the Cars universe. So anyway, this is Rip Slinger, voiced by Roger Craig Smith, who I do like. I think he is one of my favorite voice actors, I would say. The character himself, though, it's just a very generic, he wants to win, and he wants to make like the champion that, it doesn't want the rookie to win because he wants to be the best and stuff. And so, yeah, just very generic villain. And so I don't really like the character. However, I do like Roger Craig Smith's voice acting. That is always great to hear. So, yeah, just D/F tier, I guess, for the voice actor, we'll say. This is Rochelle. The whole thing with her character was that she was not really a character, honestly. She was just like, I guess, La Chupacabra. He was in love with her. She's kind of rejecting him the entire film. Eventually gets to a point where Dusty helps is it El Chupacabra or La? I don't know Spanish, so I don't know which one is masculine and which one is feminine. But yeah, so eventually Dusty helps him out, and then, yeah, she falls in love with him, and then she's obsessed with him for the rest of the film, I guess. And so I don't really, we'll put them together, they're together. I don't really care for either. This is I like this guy. This was the announcer for in Planes, the first film, and he was the one that told Dusty that he managed to qualify since one of the other planes, I guess, like cheated with an illegal fuel. Yeah, my favorite scene from the Planes film was the qualification round, and he was announcing it, and I thought it was very good, so I'd give him like 8 tier, I would say. Next this is Rusty, so I'll put him along with Dusty. I think this one is Rusty and this one is Dusty, and so I will, together, the same reason I said about Dusty earlier, just, good character for helping out Lightning McQueen, but not really much other than that. This is the truck that was in charge of, I don't remember I don't remember the acronym. One of the characters said like, this is like really bad or something. It wasn't that, but yeah, his character was basically, he was in charge. I don't even know what his character, I can't describe it. His character was in charge of making sure the safety guidelines were being followed, and so his character is the one that basically tells the town of what even town does Planes take place in? It's not Radiator Springs. It's where does Dusty live? Where does Dusty Planes live here? Is that it? Prop Wash Junction, Minnesota. Yeah, okay. So he went there. He basically told them that like they're gonna have to shut down the runway if they don't like get up to standards and stuff. And so I think the voice actor, his character, like had this thing where it's like he would kind of enunciate his words like at the end of his sentences. I think so. I would give him like C tier for that reason, but yeah, not too prominent. This is Sally, the love interest of Lightning McQueen, and the one that was trying to better Radiator Springs when everyone else kind of just gave up, I think. And so I would give her I'd give her like B tier. She was fine. I don't really, not too prominent, but also she was fine. Yeah, I just give her like B tier. Done. Not really anything too. She was fine. I don't really have any thoughts on her too much. This is the Army car. I don't care for him too much. Another resident of Radiator Springs that is just not too important. This is the cop from Radiator Springs. Just another Radiator Springs car that is just, again, I don't really care for. A lot of just background characters here that are not that important. This is Skipper. This was the mentor of Dusty in the first film, and I would give him a little B tier. He was fine. He's like a pretty bland character, to be honest, but I did like the backstory of his and like the motivation he had for, I guess, like training Dusty, of like, well, I guess wanting to redeem himself of, I don't actually know what the motivation that he had for training Dusty was, but he did fail. Like he trained a troop and then his leadership led to their demise. So I guess he wants to train Dusty, and he lies to him about like previous missions that he went on, and then Dusty finds out that he lied to him, and so eventually, yeah, I thought it was like a good conflict there, and I would give him like, I'd say B tier. I thought that he was fine, I would say. This is Smokey. This was Doc Hudson's trainer. Where's Doc Hudson? Doc Hudson here. Smokey is not as good. He is, yeah, just, I don't know. I guess they wanted to show who trained Doc Hudson. He's fine. He's not as memorable as Doc Hudson, I would say, but yeah, just D/F here. Don't really care for him too much. This is Sparky. He was the helper of Skipper. Fine character. I'd give him like, he has like some good lines here and there. I would give him C tier, I guess. This is, who's this? This looks like Cad. This is Cad. This here, oh, this was the Sterling. Yeah, this was the dude that was in charge of the training facility in Cars 3. I would give him D/F tier. Not a, it's like, I guess a fine antagonist, but the whole thing was that he was like kind of a jerk towards Ramirez, and he was just kind of motivated by profits. He claimed to be like a big fan of Lightning McQueen, but ultimately he was motivated by profits and stuff, and so that's the only thing he really cared about at the end of the day. So yeah, this is Strip Weathers. I would give Strip Weathers, not really, he's I guess an important character, but it feels like he doesn't do too much. I would give him like, we'll go C tier. He's fine, like definitely, yeah, just the champion that I guess creates competition for Lightning McQueen and Chick Hicks, I guess by proxy as well. And ultimately, Lightning does help him to complete the race, and so he was fine. I'm glad that they didn't go with like the rip. Where's he? Where is he? Rip Slinger. Where's here? I'm glad that they didn't go with like the Rip Slinger approach of like the champion who's also a jerk and stuff. So I'm glad that like he was actually a decent dude. So yeah, we'll go C for. I was gonna say C for Cal Weathers, but this isn't Cal Weathers. This is Strip Weathers. And then finally, this was the plane that was like I think he's like very Native American-esque, very like spiritual kind of firefighter plane dude. I would give him like, I don't really care for him too much. I'm just giving him like D tier, just another fire and rescue character that I just didn't really care. It's like a lot of the D/F tiers, they're either just like random characters from Radiator Springs or random characters from well, not all of them, but a lot of them are just Radiator Springs background characters or fire and rescue background characters, I would say. So we'll do side style. We'll do side style for the top 3 tiers. I guess no S tiers because, yeah, I think that we did most of this. I don't know if this is in universe, I guess. I guess if there doesn't end up being S tiers, then I guess most of it does end up being by default, like, overall context. So, yeah, anyway, not too important, but yeah, anyway, let's do side style for the C tiers. We will go with probably, okay, who's the best here? I will say, I'll go Cal, and then Guido, and then we'll go Strip, and then Chopper, or sorry, Blade Ranger, then we'll say this car, and Sparky, actually Sparky I'm going to put above, yeah, we'll put Sparky there, and then we'll go Chick Hicks, the German car, and then Fillmore, I'll say. And for the B tiers, we will go, who is the best one here? I'll go with, I don't know. I think we'll go with like Lightning. Then we'll say Mater, then Dusty, and then we'll go with this one, Patrick Warburton truck. Then I'm not sure. Then we'll go Luigi, then Sally, then Ramirez, then Doc Hudson, then Skipper, and then finally for the A tiers, okay, we'll go reverse order for this. We will say last is, we'll go him, this announcer kind of truck thing. I don't know what these type of cars are called, but yeah, him, and then we will go with probably Cad. Actually, we're going to put Cad last, I would say. He's kind of a bit of a jerk, I would say, but still very entertaining. Then we're going to go him, then we're going to go with Maru, and then we will go out of these four, I'm going to say, I'll go Holly. Actually, no, we're gonna go Jackson Storm, and then we're gonna go, I think, Bernoulli. Yeah, and then we're gonna go Holly, and then Finn McMissile. I think that's good. I don't know, these four, they're like pretty close, but yeah, I'm gonna say ultimately Jackson Storm, then Bernoulli, and then Holly, and then I think Finn McMissile was my favorite. And yeah, so that is pretty much all that is my ranking of all the car/planes characters. And so yeah, that is pretty much all there is to it. So if you have any recommendations, any shows, movies, video game stories, anime, manga, web series, anything that you want me to review or rank or compare rankings, it does not have to be media related. It could be anything. Leave it in the comments and I'll maybe possibly check it out. With that said, that is pretty much all there is to it. So let's leave it at that.